a powerful tool to create positive change in society. Be curious, be critical, and be compassionate. The legal profession needs your unique perspective and passion. Welcome to the journey. A very good morning to everyone present here. Respected Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramanian, our Director, Professor Dr. V.J. Prameshwaran, all the faculty members of CMR University School of Legal Studies, and my beloved friends. I, Purvika Karle, a student of BA LLB, third semester, on behalf of CMR University School of Legal Studies, welcome you all to the orientation program at CMR University School of Legal Studies. To begin on an auspicious note with an invocation ceremony, I would like to invite Pranav, a student of BBA LLB, ninth semester, to render the invocation song.
जय जय देवी जय जग जननी जय जय सरस्वती माई जय जय देवी जय जग जननी जय जय सरस्वती जय जय भवानी जय शर्वाणी जय जय भवानी जय शर्वाणी तुम त्रिभुवन सुखदाई तेरी माया अनंत अपार जाको को नहीं पाई जाको को नहीं पाई पाई जय जय देवी हस्त कमल सरे गा भनी सजनी पभ गगरे रे सा हस्त कमल रे गा गा भनी सजनी भनी सजनी भनी सजनी सजनी रे सजनी पभ गगरे रे सजनी रे गा गा भनी सजनी सजनी भनी सजनी गगरे रे सजनी पभ गगरे रे हस्त कमल मोहन बजावे जावे सब सुर गाई दूजे हाथ विराजत पुस्तक वेद श्रुति उपजाई वेद श्रुति उपजाई उपजाई जय जय देवी जय जय देवी जय जय देवी जय जग जननी जय जय सरस्वती माई
Thank you, Pranav. May I now request Professor Dr. T.R. Subramanian, Dean, School of Legal Studies, to deliver the welcome speech.
A very good morning to all of you present here. Respected teachers, dear newly admitted students, and all my colleagues. We have with us today Professor R. Venkata Rao, and distinguished and eminent scholar in the field of law. He has served in distinguished capacities, of which the anchor will make a reference and speak to you a lot. He has served in the field of legal education for 40 years, and by dint of hard work, he has earned a very good name as well. Not only he has earned a name, and he has been in the board executive committees for almost all the universities. I think hardly any national law school is left without him, and he is a member of the executive committee of all. When I was working in NUJS, he was a member of the WBA NUJS executive committee, frequently used to visit. And when he was the Vice-Chancellor in KSLU, he was the member of the academic council appointed by the Chancellor, Mr. Hamsraj Bharadwaj. And he was in the National Law School, Rajasthan, Nalsa, wherever. This actually speaks about the eminence of the man in scholarship. You are more fortunate to have you, the person. and he will be addressing you. You are beginning your first journey. And always remember, the longest journey begins with the first step. And he will tell you how not to articulate and how to go about studies in law. Sir, we are honored to have you with us. And on behalf of my board of management, on behalf of the chairman, chancellor, the provost, as well as the pro-chancellor, we welcome you. I also welcome all of you. You have decided to make a career in law, and all of you will be studying law for 5 years, barring the 3 years students of law. Spend time, work hard, put your effort, and participate in almost all the events as well as the moot courts. Hundreds of competitions come in your way. Don't try to miss it. There were people, remember when they joined, they were not in a position to speak one sentence in English. But in 1 year of their study, they were good students, they were able to speak, they were able to represent the institution and won laurels for the university. This is the method you are supposed to cultivate. I honorably thank all the teachers for being with us and helping us in the growth of the institution. And once again, I welcome you all.
We are honored to have with us today our highly regarded Professor Dr. R. Venkata Rao, currently the Vice-Chancellor of India International University of Legal Education and Research. Professor Rao previously served as the Vice-Chancellor of the National Law School of India University, NLSIU, Bangalore. Professor Rao holds BA Honours Literature, MA Literature, ML, PhD and LLD, honoris causa degrees. His illustrious career includes receiving the Professor N.R. Madhava Menon Best Law Teacher Award 2018 and the Attorney General K. Parasiran Award 2019. With 45 years of teaching and research experience, he has been a key figure in numerous statutory bodies and prestigious public sector undertakings. Professor Rao has authored 6 books, published over 130 papers, and guided 3 LLDs and 21 PhDs. He has been awarded multiple accolades, including the Best Vice-Chancellor Award 2014 and the Amity Academic Excellence Award 2017-2019. Sir, I invite you to address our freshers.
Is the sound? Am I audible to you? Because the first thing that a teacher should understand is, if there is communication gap, there will be excommunication. And therefore the sound should be always sound. I come from family of music lovers. And the young one who has given us the invocation, it's may Goddess Saraswati bless you. Well, I was reminded of that wonderful Hamsadvan Raga in Carnatic music. Of course, it was a mix of Hindustani and Carnatic. And please don't give up music, okay? And to be a good lawyer, to be a good law student, you need to understand the power of music, the rhythm, and you have it. God bless you. Thank you very much for the wonderful invitation. I will start on a lighter note after having heard the lofty introduction that was given about me by Professor T.R. Subramanya, himself a very distinguished academician, and the little angel who gave such formidable introduction. They have already sent you the first lesson in law. How? Lawyers have a notorious reputation. The notoriety arises from the fact when the case is weak, they give a long introduction. At least interest the client who is the paymaster. When the case is strong, they just get up and say, my lord, the facts speak for themselves. Okay. And both of them have given such a formidable introduction about me. Maybe because the case is not very strong. Don't have high expectations. I would like to share my experiences with you. Okay. By calling you fellow students. When I'm using the word fellow students, the copyright is not mine. The copyright is that of Nadi Palkhiwala. Most of you must have heard his name. Palkhiwala, have you heard his name? In due course, you must know many things about this extraordinary taxation lawyer who incidentally became an expert in constitutional law and a very powerful speaker, Nani Palkhiwala. His books, We the People, Our Nation, The Lost Decades, and the life story of Nani Palkhiwala, so wonderfully captured after he completed his voyage. Please go through those books. Nani Palkhiwala was in a way instrumental in the Supreme Court of India giving us the basic structure doctrine. Some of you might have heard in case one about this case. Palkhiwala was invited to address the students of Ferguson College in Pune. And along with him, 3 judges of the Supreme Court who delivered the judgment in Keshwanda Bharati case were also invited. So on the dais, there were 3 judges of the Supreme Court. Palkhiwala was there, he was called Nani. Faculty members were there, and when Nani's turn came, he started addressing, my lords, my lord, my lord, and then fellow students. When he used the word fellow students, one of the Supreme Court judges immediately got up and said, Nani, can I interrupt you? Yes, my lord, he said. What is that you have said? Fellow students. You have argued so brilliantly in Keshwanda Bharati's case that we have observed from the court bench off cuff that how unfortunate it is that only the judgments of the Supreme Court are recorded, but not the arguments of the advocates. They are never recorded for the benefit of posterity, they are now published. And you have argued so brilliantly that day that we gave you the basic structure doctrine, and today you are calling yourself a fellow student. Immediately Nani said, yes, I mean what I said, my lord. A young man, when he is on the rolls of a law college, when you have taken your admission, for the 5 years you will be a law student. But when you walk from the university to the universe after 5 years, this law student will become a student of law throughout his life. And learning is one process which starts in our respective wombs of our respective mothers and should go beyond our tombs, he said. And Palkhiwala was such a brilliant advocate who always used to say, for me, there is no difference between the Supreme Court of India and the trial court. Even after becoming the topmost advocate of the country, he never had any compunction to argue before the trial court. And he said, sir, my lord, even today, when a case comes for me to argue in a trial court, at 10:30 in the morning, my trousers start crumbling like a first-year LLB student appearing for the first moot court. And the day on which my trousers would stop trembling, I would quit the profession, he said. So when I have addressed you as fellow students, I have borrowed this phrase from Nani Palkhiwala to drive home the message that learning is a continuous process. Remember, learning is not semester-wise. Learning is not year-end wise. Now you have started the process of learning. Today we have Paris Olympics. Most of you must be following. And in Paris Olympics there will be running race, 100 meters, then 800 meters, then marathon, 42 kilometers. So 100 meters means you start at 0, you end at 100. Okay, but in real life, in the process of learning, there is only the starting line, there is no end line. Please remember that. You have started the process of learning, and I congratulate you for 2 important reasons. Number 1, you have taken admission to a course which will take you to a profession which is the only profession mentioned in the Constitution of India. Look at 395 articles and 12 schedules of the Constitution. In the coming weeks, your constitutional teacher will tell you somewhere between Article 20 and 22, a word is used to be defended by a legal practitioner of your own choice. That means the word legal practitioner is mentioned in the Constitution of India. There is no mention about a doctor. There is no mention about an engineer. There is no mention about a politician. So you are entering a profession which is constitutionally ordained. How many Indians have that privilege? So my congratulations to you, but that makes your responsibility also more onerous. The moment I say you are going to do a course which will take you to a profession which is mentioned in the Constitution of India, that makes your responsibility very onerous. What is that responsibility? From today onwards, whatever you do, the Constitution of India must be at the back of your mind and must be at the center of your heart. The Constitution of India must be at the back of your mind and must be at the center of your heart. And Prof. Subramania was telling that I had experience of more than 4 decades. Okay. Please remember, good judgment comes out of experience, but experience comes out of bad judgment. So when he said that I have the experience of more than 4 decades, it means I have 47 years of experience of committing mistakes. Of course, Kadacha says human beings can be divided into 2 types. Wise people who learn from the mistakes committed by others. Fools who do not learn even from their own mistakes. So when we commit a mistake today, we must learn from it tomorrow. That is the learning process. That is what you mean by good judgment. And as a student of law, what is that you are supposed to do? Most of you have passed +2, right? 10th class, +2, okay? And now you are entering the university, okay? Till yesterday, you were reading to satisfy your parents. You agree with me? To satisfy your peer group, to satisfy your teachers, to get more marks. But from today, there is a total transformation. When I was a student of 10th class and 12th class, I used to pretend that I was reading till the bedroom light in my parents' bedroom was on. The moment it was switched off, I used to close the books. I'm sure all of you must have passed that stage. That means we used to study under pressure. Examinations, okay, peer group, teachers. Now starts the new phase of life where you must start learning with pleasure and not under pressure. Please remember. Learning with pleasure. And when you do a thing which you enjoy, the whole world may be thinking that you are working for 20 hours a day, but you don't feel you are working. You agree with me? Well, in the coming 10 days, Professor Subramania, Vignesh and my other colleagues would ask you to come for the Freshers Day function. Okay? Where you will be required to display your histrionic talents. Agree? And dance, music, rehearsals, everything. And you do rehearsals voluntarily for 24 hours without sleeping. And you come for the Freshers Day. Okay? Right. Because you enjoy that. After the Freshers Day is over, when your dean, Professor Subramania, asks you to write an assignment and submit it before the weekend, immediately you will say, this old man has nothing else to do. See, we have Olympics up to 11th August. We have Indian cricket team touring Sri Lanka, okay? And Asia Cup finals need to be watched where women are playing so well. And where is the time for us to write an assignment? What's the difference between these two? When you are asked to do the rehearsals for the freshers' day, like a rose as fresh as in the month of April, you do it. When you are asked to write an assignment, you are a bit reluctant. That means that is attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. The heights to which you would go in life would depend on your attitude. And if you are to translate your dreams into reality, remember what Abdul Kalam said. What did he say? Dreams are not those which you get in your sleep. Dreams are those which you make you sleepless. Once you get a dream, till you accomplish it, you should not sleep. And a successful person is one who keeps himself awake when the whole world sleeps. Do you understand that? A successful person is one who keeps himself awake when the whole world sleeps. The small gold medal that would be given to you in Olympics would be a manifestation of 20 years of sweat, toil, coaching, rigorous practice that you do. That means overnight success, dictionary meaning is 20 years of hard work. There is nothing called overnight success. So if you want to be successful, from today onwards, take a pledge. That we will not let down our parents. Okay, by enjoying the study of law. And law is one wonderful, fascinating subject which you can enjoy thoroughly, remember. Because there is no subject which is more close to life than law. Therefore, every facet of law is a manifestation of your life. And therefore, one of the Supreme Court judges said, the life of law is not logic, but has been experience. Experience of human beings. That means the journey that human beings have taken from atom to atom is reflected in the world of law. Remember, the trudge that is taken, the evolution that has taken place from atom to atom of 21st century would be reflected in law. Therefore, you will be enjoying it. And start enjoying that from today itself. There are two small, tricky formulae to do that. You may be wondering, can we do that? Can we scale that mountain? We are too small. First thing you must remember is, when you want to reach the top of a mountain, don't look at the top. Take the first step. The altitude to be covered remains n-1. Never look at the top again. Take the second step. The altitude to be covered remains n-2. Then n-3. One fine morning, like Bachendri Pal, you are on the top of the Mount Everest. You agree with me? But what we do normally is, without taking the first step, we are more worried about the pebbles in our shoes. Maybe some pebbles, small stones, which will be causing discomfort. And we don't take the first step. And when you don't take the first step in the right direction, as Confucius said in the journey of 10,000 miles, the first step in the right direction is the most important step. Take the first step. You have taken the first step today. You are joined in this wonderful institution under the tutelage of a very eminent academician, an academician with a heart, remember, with compassion. And you have taken the first step. Take the second step, and you will find that on one fine morning, the mountain is also below your feet. One of the psychologists said, there is no mountain which is so high, which will not be below your feet once you reach the top. Correct? Do you have any mountain which will be above you? Provided you have dedication, you have determination, you have devotion, you have courage, you have conviction, you have commitment. Just I have used the word CD, not for compact disc, but courage, conviction, and commitment devotion, dedication, and determination. If you have those things, the journey would be wonderful and you can enjoy it. The second formula you must understand is very, very simple, but very difficult to enforce it. The sun rises even on Sundays. You agree with me? Is there a Sunday for sun? That should be your attitude in your life. Remember. My labor law teacher, Professor Gupteshwar, he knows. When I was asked to teach labor law, he said, when you are going to teach a subject called strikes, don't start strikes straight away, but ask the students one question. What will happen if the sun god goes on strike? If the sun goes on strike, for one day what will happen? For 1 week what will happen? For 1 month what will happen? Let the students answer. Then you will tell them what are strikes, what are knockouts, okay, strike is a democratic right, okay? So the sun rises even on Sundays. And you must also do that. Every Sunday, to quote Gavaskar, should be a sunny day. Okay? And you must enjoy working it. This is the second insight that I wanted to tell you. The third point, very important point, is the former Chief Justice of the United States of America, L. Warren, was asked a question when he was addressing the students. He was asked, "My Lord, from among the students, whom would you like to appoint as the judicial officers?" They were all graduate students then. Whom you would like to appoint as a judicial officers? He smiled. They were gold medalists. They were toppers. Then he said, very simple, a good human being who also knows a bit of law. What did he say? A good human being who also knows a bit of law. He did not say, I will take the gold medalist. That means the purpose of the education, more so legal education, is to make you a good human being. Remember what Swami Vivekananda said. Education is that bridges the distance between a human being and being human. Nothing more than that. Education is that bridges the distance between a human being and being human. All of us are human beings. But how many of us are being human? And that which translates you. So cultivate the habits of becoming a good human being. Who is a good human being? Your law teachers will speak to you while speaking to you about curricular achievements, drama, theatre. A reference will definitely be made to Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Merchant of Venice is one drama where much about law is said. Remember, many subjects in law are discussed in it, okay? Especially in that wonderful dialogue which is exchanged between Portia and Shylock. Okay, there he uses one sentence. He says, all of us have functioning brains. There is no doubt about it. Without a functioning brain, you would not have passed 10th class, you would not have passed 12th class, you would not have undergone the rigors of the entrance process for this prestigious university. And without a functioning brain, we would not have gone through the trials and tribulations of life in the last 45 years. And so it is proved beyond doubt that we have functioning brains. But Shakespeare in Merchant of Venice, through Portia, says, justice would be a casualty if you have only a functioning brain and not a functioning heart. If you have only a functioning brain and not a functioning heart. It is that functioning heart that makes you develop the quality of empathy. In fact, when Oliver Holmes was asked to address the students, he said, youngsters, after you complete law, you will be going to courts. But they are courts of law and not courts of justice. He said they are courts of law and not courts of justice. The reason as to why he has said is, most of us would have the temptation of not applying our heart and interpret it by looking at dictionary, the meaning of the words. Okay. But right from first day onwards, develop that quality of empathy, of love. Remember, as a student of law, when Professor Subramania says, cultivate rule of law as a way of life, what we mean is, please remember one liner I will tell you today throughout your lives. And then, whatever be the circumstances, you follow that. What is that? Choose the power of love over love of power. Simple, nothing more than that. Choose the power of love over love of power. Because love solves any problem in the life, remember. It will make surroundings around us more just, more safe, more secure. So, what you are required to become is a good human being. Okay? When fundamental duties in the Constitution speak about a very important duty, which says striving towards excellence in individual sphere of activity as well as collective spheres of activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of achievement. What do you mean by excellence? Excellence in the product? In Paris Olympics, already the first doping case has been detected. Yesterday, an athlete from Iraq was caught used banned substances. So winning an Olympic gold medal by doping, is it excellence? No. Winning CMR gold medal by plagiarism, is it excellence? Winning a university top rank by adopting unfair means, is it excellence? So when the fundamental duties speak about excellence, not only excellence in the product, but excellence in the human being. Our purpose of inculcating lessons in you is to enable you to ask you only one question, please remember. My colleagues also should remember. You must always ask the question, is it right and not is it legal? Most of the lawyers would be tempted to ask the question, is it legal? Remember, but ask for yourself the question, is it right first? And then take the help of law. Because people in situations of distress will come to you. Now, legal profession is called a noble profession and a learned profession, not because you are required to display your learning. It's called a learned profession because you are required to display exemplary conduct, which is a consequence and corollary of real learning. You have understood that? Legal profession is called a learned profession not because you are required to display learning, but to display exemplary conduct, which is a consequence and corollary of that learning. Otherwise, it is not learning, it is only information. See, again, Swami Vivekananda says, education is not information, but formation. Formation of a complete human being, remember. So, become complete human beings. And let me tell you, CMR is the best place you have chosen, which would metamorphose you into excellent human beings. Because this is one of the institutions where I found that every subject is taught from ethics perspective. Every subject is taught from human rights perspective. That is the purpose. Not a specialized paper called ethics. Okay? Because ethics should aid you. And therefore, youngsters, on the first day, which is in the month of July, which is very auspicious for students of law for two reasons. If you remember, 14th July was the date on which Bastille fell, the French Revolution. Liberty, equality, and fraternity, the clarion call. And 22nd July was the date on which, in 1947, the Constituent Assembly adopted the national flag. Remember, some people consider 22nd July to be more important than 15th August. And it is celebrated as National Flag Day. In such an auspicious month, you have put your best foot forward. Therefore, remind yourselves of only one more important thing I'll tell you. To become a good human being, what Mother Teresa has said in one context. I keep on repeating it wherever I go. How can you love God whom you cannot see when you cannot love human beings whom you see? How can you love God whom you cannot see when you cannot love human beings whom you see? In fact, he was taking a leaf from Swami Vivekananda. When Vivekananda was asked a question, tell us, how does Goddess look like? Because he was supposed to be talking to Goddess Kali Mata daily in the evenings. The journalist went and said, we are the ordinary mortals, we don't have opportunity to look at Goddess. He was asked a question, please tell us how God looks like. Vivekananda said, is there God? There is no God. But he did not stop there. He said, perfect human being is God. And imperfect God is human being. And education is that removes those imperfections. How beautifully he has put it. Perfect human being is God. And imperfect God is human being. And education is that removes those imperfections. So you are on a journey of removing those imperfections so that you will be reaching the divinely ordained, loftier goals. That's what Mother Teresa said, how can you love God when you cannot love human beings? See, and therefore she finally said, whatever you do in life from today, apart from fulfilling the constitutional goals and aspirations, also remember another one-liner from Mother Teresa who said, have two qualities in your life. Passion for what you do. You must be very passionate. But compassion for whom you do. Passion for what you do and compassion for whom you do. These should be the goals. And the last point I wanted to tell you is, I started my interaction with you with the Constitution of Day, India. And one thing, let me confess, till today, my habit has been, once I get up from the bed early in the morning, the first thing I do is to have a look at the preamble of the Constitution. And ask for myself the question, to what extent have I been able to fulfill the constitutional goals and the preamble aspirations mentioned in the preamble? And if the answer is not satisfactory, either in my private life or in my public life, I pray the Almighty, God, make the answer less unsatisfactory tomorrow or more satisfactory. Okay, by giving me the wherewithal to contribute my might to fulfill the constitutional ideals. So this preamble should be close to your heart and must become a constant companion. My appeal, along with the appeal of all the faculty members, is don't let us down and make this place a safe place by your wonderful study. God bless you all. Thank you very much for giving me.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words of wisdom. May I now request Professor Dr. V.J. Praneshwaran, Director, School of Legal Studies, to propose the oath of thanks.
As I was sitting and hearing, I was contemplating how to start my vote of thanks. Because we have been taken from George Bernard Shaw to Oliver Wendell Holmes to Shakespeare to ethics and to Swami Vivekananda. That's the and. 47 years of experience, and the person calls himself a student. That's the humility, and that's the vast knowledge and experience that the person has. And how beautifully put whatever has to be put. And see the time. We have put in the schedule, the time is 1 hour. On the dot. We started and then it is ending. Very close to perfection, sir. You personify what you have spoken. And actually, I'm feeling very jealous about these children. That when I started my legal education, I was not fortunate to hear you. But nevertheless, at least to hear you now and inculcate these things. Ethics, very important. Keep that in mind. Education, it is for you, and have the right attitude. On that note, we are extremely thankful and have a great amount of gratitude to Professor Dr. R. Venkata Rao, Vice-Chancellor, presently India International University of Legal Education and Research, Goa. And the person also happens to be two-time Vice-Chancellor of the top #1 institution for legal education in India. Thank you very much, sir, for having shared. And we are fortunate that we are able to get people of such stature because of our beloved Dean, a scholar himself, an authority on international law, formerly advisor to the Kingdom of Bahrain, formerly Registrar, Bengaluru University, and formerly Vice-Chancellor, Karnataka State Law University. Thank you very much, sir, for getting these wonderful and experienced scholars. And you will have much more of these. You will have a lot of scholars and a lot of jurists coming in from various walks of life. Make use of that. Apart from curriculum, there is a lot of co-curricular and extracurricular activities that are organized. Be part of it so that it helps you in your education. I also thank all my faculty, the organizing committee, the organizers.
Almost throughout, I said what you are supposed to do without letting you know how great you are. Let me now tell you how great you are, to instill sense of confidence in you. And when I'm telling that, I'm borrowing the entire lecture from Barack Obama. Barack Obama is a professor of law because he became the president of the United States, one of the finest speakers. Okay. Obama was seeking office for the second term, and he came to Silicon Valley. My brother, who is a US citizen, he was in the audience. And Obama started addressing. He said, fellow Americans, they have a lot of pride. Okay. I'm proud of you, he said. Look at the spelling of the word American. The last 4 letters say I can. In American, the last 4 letters say I can. And you have proved to the world. You have the space capital, NASA. You have information technology. You have the top institutions in the world. I should congratulate you. But Silicon Valley is the IT capital, yes. But my question is, who is there in NASA? Who is there in Silicon Valley? Everyone excepting Americans. You have Hispanics, you have Chinese, you have South Koreans, above all, you have aspirational Indians. It's the word he has used. And then you know what he said? This aspirational youth of India, they are not prepared to settle even for the second best. They want the first best. And therefore, I would say, we are in information technology capital. Therefore, you say, oh, IT Valley, Silicon Valley. IT do not stand for information technology anymore. Barack Obama himself said, IT stands for Indian talent. That's Indian talent. Till yesterday, IT stood for information technology. And where Barack Obama stopped at IT standing for Indian talent, one of the prolific writers, Guru Charan Das, he wrote a book called India Grows at Night. The book release function was held in Bengaluru. I was present, sitting next to him. And that day we had the privilege of Girish Kannad also being present on that. And when the book was about to be released, I whispered in the ears of Guru Charan Das, "Sir, why did you give the title India Grows at Night?" And viciously said, "Professor, maybe because the government will be sleeping at night." Then he said, "Have you read the book?" I said, "I have read all your books, sir. I'm your fan. Don't you think that all our top students from top institutions, after graduation from IITs, IIMs, National Law Schools, CMRE institutions, they move to Europe, they move to United States, and they work there for the growth of our country," he said. "And what is daytime for them is nighttime for us. And therefore I said India grows at night. And look, those people are now coming back to India. And therefore, he said, where Barack Obama stopped at IT standing for Indian talent, till yesterday, IT for information technology. From today, IT stands for Indian talent. But I will go a step forward and say, IT stands for India tomorrow. You represent that India tomorrow. Manifestation of India tomorrow. See, all of us have started second innings in a 5-day test match. You are yet to face the first ball in an unlimited test match. So prove Barack Obama right by proving to the world that IT stands for Indian talent and India tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a great icing to the cake. Thank you. I also thank all the students for having come, and this is going to be, your orientation is going to continue. This is to prepare you for the education that you're going to get here. Thank you, everyone. We have begun on a good note. Yesterday was a formal common inauguration. Today, a law-oriented inauguration, and you have heard of what lies ahead for you and what is expected of you. Take cue from it and go ahead. All the best. Thank you very much.